So next is another Academy Award nominated film, and this one has 5 nominations, including Best Picture. We are talking about Anatomy of a Fall.
Ooh, Anatomy of a Fall. Awesome.
Ed and I made a selection, a very strategic selection,
Yes,
and rented it through Amazon Prime.
And had some pizza. So it's like,
Nice.
we'll watch something, but we're not going to go to a theater. We can't bring our own pizza in with us.
Yeah, look, it's, as often our Academy Award nominated movies, very serious. And, a little challenging and dramatic and emotional. So, pizza might have been a mismatch. But otherwise, it's quite good. It's
What would have been the meal that would have
I
gone
know.
that
I'm like, what is a serious meal to go with a serious movie?
I don't know, bread and water, no food.
beef bourguignon? I don't know.
No food, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
star. Okay.
No food, and definitely not a bucket of popcorn.
I was just
for
gonna
sure
say.
not the Dune one with the big old weird thing.
We can't. I can't wait to talk about
That's
Dune.
next episode.
Yeah, that's
We're all
next
going to be
episode
on
we'll talk
Dune
about
watch.
But
Okay.
whoosh.
We're on a sand watch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. So this movie, French, is bringing a couple new names to us. I was unaware of the director and writer, Justine Triet, who co-wrote with her partner.
So it's in French?
Yes, and co-written with her partner, Arthur Harari. Pretty incredible. She's made other movies. I haven't seen them, but this is incredible. The main actress, who's also in another Academy Award nominated movie, Zone of Interest, but is nominated for actress in this one, Sandra Hüller. Or I'm obviously mispronouncing all French and she's German names. But I mean, wow. I mean, it's funny because I feel like this movie falls into something that a lot of other people, including Catherine and Liz, would watch as a television series. A lot of this, kind of a
Whodunit?
Well, a tragedy, you don't know this woman. Did she do it? Did she not do it? Kind of a thing, a lot of back and forth. You're developing new pieces of information throughout and, just really roller coaster of emotions.
And it seriously helped that I didn't recognize anybody. So I'm not like, well, obviously he did it. Coming in first 5 minutes, no Law and Order giveaways.
Is it subtitled, though, right? Because it's a French film. I know we said French, but it's subtitled.
No, you have to understand French. They will not subtitle for you.
No, I mean, like...
Yes, it is subtitled. There is actually, the language thing is interesting because she's German, and so she's, accurately portraying that she is a German person. And then what they've done is, so the husband is French, and they're living in France, and they have this meeting place where they speak English in the house. So, because, she doesn't, her French is not as good, and they don't exactly quantify how good his German is. Maybe not at all. And then there's also another thing where it comes down where, like, she's supposed to speak French, and then it ends up being, like, kind of challenging. So there's a fair amount of English also.
Oh, okay.
But I think just those 2 languages.
Got it.
It's pretty incredible. I don't know, right, Ed?
Yeah, ultimately it was like... I'm not excited about any of the remaining Academy Award movies. They all look like downer stories. Which one can we get the most volume out of? We could share it, somebody else can watch it. All right, well, let's pick this one. And then it was not uplifting. It was, incredibly well performed, but also had me questioning what was going to happen the whole time because I didn't know, like, it's not a major crime, but it's like, okay, well, how's this going to work out? No one's really stressing over this. No one's getting like the police are going to show up next. So it's just tense the whole time, which, I don't watch a lot of those movies. And sometimes they're really well done, like this one.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing about that with this one is it really did, shockingly, maybe a realistic version of what it's like when something like this happens, and then, what are the police doing and what are the lawyers doing? And in a way, not over-dramatizing it. And then also there's this thing that, like, well, in France, courts work slightly differently than here in the United States. And that's a little bit challenging. You're not getting a Law and Order experience. You're like, that's not how it works. I don't understand. Why are they doing it this way? Because I think that's how their courts work. So that was, I think, very interesting to, like, wow, we're doing this. Okay. It wasn't like, you had a blow up and the night before, like, tomorrow it's going to be, and it's like, nope, this is just rolling along. This is the next step, and this is the next step, and this is all very challenging, but it's just real, and the next step happens. 1 year later, just all kinds of, you're like, this is surprising. I think in theaters, if you would like to go see it there, it did win at Cannes last year.
The Palme d'Or.
It did. It's very, very good.
Well, actually, going back to what you said, Ed, about, it's not a comedy and it's serious and nominated for an Oscar. This year was one of those years they really made a point. Like Barbie, it didn't get tons of nominations, which was very out of character. It's nominated for Best Picture. Remember, the Marvel pictures, like some of these other ones, are huge box office draws, do not get necessarily Best Picture nominations.
Yeah, no.
They like serious.
Well, and that's the interesting thing about opening up that one specific category to 10 is that then you can actually give credit to a Barbie where it doesn't fit in the 5. For every other category, it's the serious performances, even though, I'm pretty sure everyone will be talking about Barbie in the next 5 and 10 and 15 years, and the ones that win will be like Alfie. No one fucking saw Alfie.
Yeah, so look, it's an expanded repertoire, but this is kind of a classic, serious Academy Awards picture.